What if I told you that humanity, for centuries, was considered nothing more than a primitive species by the rest of the galaxy? That our achievements, our civilizations, and even our wars were seen as insignificant mere child's play in the grand cosmic arena. But everything changed when the Galactic War reached Earth. Suddenly, humanity wasn't so primitive anymore. In fact, we became the key to survival for countless civilizations across the stars. This is the story of how humanity went from being overlooked to becoming the galaxy's most unexpected savior. For centuries, Earth was a backwater planet, unnoticed and unremarkable in the eyes of advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. While humans were busy building pyramids, launching satellites, and debating the existence of aliens, the galaxy was embroiled in a conflict so vast and destructive that it made our world wars look like playground scuffles. The Galactic War, as it came to be known, was a millennia-long struggle for dominance between two powerful factions, the technologically advanced Zorathians and the resource-rich Krullos Empire. Both sides had long dismissed Earth as irrelevant, a planet of apes playing with fire. But they were about to learn just how wrong they were. The turning point came in 2147, when a Krullos fleet, desperate to gain an advantage, attempted to establish a foothold on Earth. They saw our planet as nothing more than a strategic outpost, a place to refuel and regroup. What they didn't anticipate was humanity's resilience. At first, the Krullos' advanced technology seemed unstoppable. Their energy shields deflected our missiles, their plasma weapons vaporized our tanks, and their starships loomed over our cities like gods. But humanity had something they didn't: adaptability. Within months, we reverse-engineered their technology, turning their own weapons against them. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers worked around the clock, driven by a singular goal: survival. And survive we did. The Krullos were pushed back, but the war was far from over. As the conflict escalated, both the Zorathians and the Krullos began to take notice of humanity's ingenuity. Where they had expected submission, they found defiance. Where they had expected weakness, they found strength. And where they had expected chaos, they found unity. For the first time in history, humanity wasn't just a footnote in the galactic story, we were players on the cosmic stage. But this was only the beginning. The Galactic War was about to test us in ways we could never have imagined, and the fate of the galaxy would soon rest in our hands. The Krullos' retreat from Earth was a wake-up call for the galaxy. Suddenly, humanity wasn't just a primitive species to be ignored, we were a force to be reckoned with. The Zorathians, who had been losing ground to the Krullos for decades, saw an opportunity. They reached out to Earth, offering an alliance. It was a historic moment. For the first time, humanity was being treated as an equal by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. But not everyone was convinced. Many on Earth feared that aligning with the Zorathians would only draw us deeper into a war we barely understood. Others argued that this was our chance to prove ourselves, to show the galaxy that humanity was more than just a collection of warring tribes. The debate raged for months, but ultimately, the decision was made to join forces with the Zorathians. It wasn't an easy choice, but the stakes were too high to ignore. The Krullos had already shown their willingness to destroy entire planets to achieve their goals. If they won the war, Earth would be next. And so, humanity entered the Galactic War, not as pawns, but as partners. The Zorathians provided us with advanced technology, including faster-than-light travel and energy-based weapons, while we brought something equally valuable to the table: our creativity and resourcefulness. Together, we began to turn the tide of the war. One of the most remarkable examples of humanity's impact was the Battle of Orion's Belt. The Krullos had established a massive supply depot in the asteroid field, using it to fuel their war machine. The Zorathians had tried and failed to destroy it multiple times, but their conventional tactics were no match for the Krullos' defenses. That's when a team of human engineers came up with a daring plan. Using a combination of Zorathian cloaking technology and Earth-made explosives, they infiltrated the depot and planted a series of charges deep within its core. The resulting explosion not only destroyed the depot but also sent shockwaves through the Krullos' fleet, crippling their supply lines and giving the Zorathians a much-needed advantage. It was a turning point in the war, and it was all thanks to humanity's ingenuity. But the war was far from over. The Krullos, now aware of the threat humanity posed, began to target Earth with renewed ferocity. Cities were bombarded from orbit, entire regions were laid to waste, and millions of lives were lost. Yet, even in the face of such devastation, humanity refused to back down. We fought not just for our survival, but for our place in the galaxy. And as the war dragged on, something extraordinary began to happen. Other species, once dismissive of humanity, started to rally behind us. They saw in us a reflection of their own struggles, a reminder that even the smallest and seemingly weakest among us could rise to greatness. By the time the war entered its final stages, humanity had become a symbol of hope for the entire galaxy. But the cost had been immense. Earth was scarred, its people weary, and its future uncertain. And yet, we had proven something not just to the galaxy, but to ourselves. We were no longer primitive. We were warriors, innovators, and, most importantly, survivors. But as the dust settled and the galaxy began to rebuild, a new question emerged: what would humanity do with our newfound place among the stars? As the Galactic War drew to a close, the galaxy was forever changed. The Krullos Empire, once a dominant force, had been pushed to the brink of collapse. The Zorathians, though victorious, were exhausted and depleted. And humanity, the so-called primitive species, had emerged as one of the war's most pivotal players. But with the end of the war came new challenges. The galaxy was in ruins, its civilizations fractured and its alliances strained. The question now was not just how to rebuild, but how to ensure that such a devastating conflict would never happen again. And for the first time, humanity had a seat at the table where these decisions were being made. The Galactic Council, a governing body formed in the aftermath of the war, invited Earth to join as a founding member. It was an unprecedented honor, but also a daunting responsibility. Humanity was still new to interstellar politics, and many wondered if we were ready for such a role. The debates on Earth were fierce. Some argued that we should focus on rebuilding our own world before involving ourselves in galactic affairs. Others believed that this was our chance to shape the future of the galaxy, to ensure that no species would ever be dismissed as primitive again. In the end, the decision was made to accept the invitation, and humanity took its place among the stars. One of the first issues the Galactic Council faced was how to deal with the Krullos. Despite their defeat, they remained a powerful and proud species. Some council members advocated for harsh punishments, including the dismantling of their military and the occupation of their home world. Others, including many humans, argued for a more compassionate approach. After all, humanity knew what it was like to be underestimated and oppressed. In the end, a compromise was reached. The Krullos would be allowed to retain their sovereignty, but they would be required to contribute to the rebuilding efforts and adhere to strict disarmament treaties. It was a controversial decision, but one that reflected the growing influence of humanity's values on the galactic stage. Another major challenge was the distribution of resources. The war had left entire star systems in ruins, and many species were on the brink of extinction. Humanity, despite our own losses, stepped up to help. We shared our knowledge of sustainable agriculture, developed new technologies for terraforming damaged planets, and even offered refuge to displaced species on Earth. These actions earned us the respect and gratitude of countless civilizations, further solidifying our place in the galactic community. But they also came at a cost. Earth's resources were stretched thin, and tensions began to rise between those who wanted to prioritize our own survival and those who believed in helping others at all costs. Perhaps the most profound change, however, was in how humanity saw itself. For centuries, we had looked to the stars with a mix of awe and fear, wondering if we were alone in the universe. Now, we knew the answer, and it was far more complex than we had ever imagined. The galaxy was vast and diverse, filled with species that were both like us and utterly alien. But the Galactic War had shown us that we were all connected, bound together by the shared experience of struggle and survival. It was a humbling realization, but also an empowering one. We were no longer just Earthlings, we were citizens of the galaxy. As the years passed, humanity continued to play a key role in shaping the future of the galaxy. We helped establish new trade routes, mediated conflicts between species, and even led efforts to explore uncharted regions of space. But perhaps our greatest contribution was the idea that no species, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, should ever be overlooked. This philosophy, born out of our own experiences, became a guiding principle for the Galactic Council and a beacon of hope for countless civilizations. And yet, as we looked to the future, one question lingered: what did it mean to be human in a galaxy so vast and full of wonders? The Galactic War had forced us to confront our own limitations and discover strengths we never knew we had. But it had also shown us that we were capable of both great good and great harm. As we took our place among the stars, we carried with us the lessons of the past and the hope for a better future. The galaxy was no longer a distant dream, it was our home. And humanity, once considered primitive, had become its unlikely guardians. So, what do you think? Was humanity's rise to prominence in the galaxy a fluke, or was it inevitable? And as we continue to explore the stars, what role should we play in shaping the destiny of the cosmos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the far reaches of the universe. Until next time, keep looking up, the stars are waiting. Certainly. Let's dive into another fascinating story set in the same universe, where humanity's journey from being considered primitive to becoming a key player in the galaxy continues to unfold. This time, we'll explore a different angle: how humanity's unique cultural and artistic contributions became a unifying force in a galaxy still recovering from the scars of war. The Galactic War had left the galaxy fractured, not just politically and economically, but culturally as well. The once thriving exchange of art, music, and stories between species had ground to a halt, replaced by suspicion and isolation. The Zorathians, with their cold logic and hyper-efficient societies, saw little value in what they called emotional indulgences. The Krollos, though rich in history, had turned inward, their art now serving only as propaganda for their fallen empire. Even the neutral species, those who had avoided the worst of the war, struggled to find meaning in a galaxy that felt hollow and disconnected. It was in this climate of cultural stagnation that humanity made one of its most unexpected contributions: our art. At first, the idea seemed laughable to the Galactic Council. What could a species that had only recently mastered interstellar travel possibly offer to civilizations that had been exploring the cosmos for millennia? But humanity had something no one else did: a raw, unfiltered expression of emotion that resonated across species and cultures. Our music, our paintings, our stories, they were messy, imperfect, and deeply human. And in a galaxy still reeling from the trauma of war, that was exactly what was needed. The turning point came during the first Galactic Cultural Exchange, an event organized by the Galactic Council to foster unity and healing. Representatives from dozens of species gathered on the neutral planet of Lyra Prime, each bringing their own cultural artifacts to share. The Zorathians presented intricate holographic simulations of their mathematical theories. The Krollos showcased their grand war monuments, now stripped of their propaganda and repurposed as symbols of peace. And then there was humanity, with a simple yet profound offering, a live performance of Beethoven's Symphony No. 9, adapted for both human and alien instruments. The performance began quietly, the haunting melody of the first movement echoing through the grand hall. But as the music swelled, something extraordinary happened. The Zorathians, known for their stoicism, found themselves moved by the interplay of harmony and dissonance. The Krollos, hardened by centuries of war, felt a long-buried sense of hope stirring within them. And the neutral species, who had long felt like bystanders in a galaxy at war, found a sense of belonging in the shared experience. By the time the final movement, the Ode to Joy, reached its crescendo, the entire hall was united in a way that no treaty or alliance could ever achieve. The impact of that performance was immediate and far-reaching. Suddenly, humanity wasn't just seen as warriors or innovators, we were artists, storytellers, and healers. Our music, films, and literature began to spread across the galaxy, offering solace and inspiration to species still grappling with the aftermath of the war. A Zorathian philosopher famously remarked, "In their art, humans have captured the essence of what it means to endure, to hope, and to dream. In this, they are not primitive, they are timeless." But humanity's cultural contributions didn't stop there. As our art gained popularity, so too did our philosophy. The idea that every species, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, had a story worth telling became a rallying cry for the galaxy. The Galactic Council established the Galactic Archive, a massive repository of art, literature, and history from every known species. Humanity played a key role in its creation, using our expertise in digital preservation to ensure that no culture would ever be lost again. Perhaps the most profound example of humanity's cultural impact was the creation of the Harmony Project, a collaborative effort between artists from dozens of species. The project's centerpiece was a massive, ever-evolving sculpture located on Lyra Prime. Made from materials contributed by each species, the sculpture was designed to change over time, reflecting the shifting dynamics of the galaxy. It became a symbol of unity, a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable diversity, there was beauty in connection. As the years passed, humanity's role in the galaxy continued to evolve. We were no longer just survivors or warriors, we were creators, dreamers, and bridge builders. And in a galaxy still healing from the wounds of war, that was perhaps our greatest gift. The Galactic War had shown us that we were capable of incredible resilience and ingenuity. But it was our art, our stories, and our ability to connect with others on a deeply emotional level that truly defined us. So, what do you think? Can art and culture be as powerful as technology or diplomacy in shaping the future of a galaxy? And what other unexpected gifts might humanity have to offer as we continue to explore the stars? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from the far reaches of the universe. Until next time, keep dreaming because the galaxy is listening. Please do subscribe my channel to get more interesting facts and stories in future. Stay tuned.